Alright, I'm not muted. Everything's looking pretty dandy on my end. Now I just gotta pull up the live stream and we can get this ball rolling. I streamed a lot yesterday, man. Y'all missed it. Y'all missed me not having the fucking mic on and not realizing it and talking for like a good 20 minutes. But today, my mic is indeed on. And I know it's on. Not realizing it. So, without further ado, let's go. I think we got like a few more hours of this episode and then we'll be done. So let's knock this one out with a bang. February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So right now, we know that Damon Ganton's involved. We just have to prove it. We don't really know everything, as evident by Phoenix being constantly surprised and me being surprised. So, let's wrap this up. Sorry, Edward. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's not having you run errands again. I'm taking it Lana's having you run errands again. Okay. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give you this. Well, it's the same thing, but anyways, I'm trying to make sure I read it correctly. Here. She asked me to give you this. Here. She asked me to give this to you, and there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. I don't remember that at all. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book, Em. I guess I'll give you the next book. I guess I'll give this book a thorough read. From Miss Sky Explains the 2 Rules of Evidence Law book. Okay. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good though. Now though, all that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? While I'm still sitting in the prosecutor's seat, despite all the allegations being thrown at me? Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Basically, what I'm reading is what I think it should be there, and not what's actually there, because I have ADHD. And the Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people, It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 12:52, District Court Room number 9. Huh. So I guess it's like a 10-minute recess? Okay. It's a random recess because everyone was so freaked out about what was going on. Court is now reconvened for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking. And, very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. Then, defense, may you now call the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you called the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls. This time finally comes to bring out the real murderer. Obviously. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with this, with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. You're so cooked. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear this SO9 incident. Clear. Oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, they said I should read this thing. Hold on. Dude, there's so much fucking evidence. Here we go. Check it out. Seems like it's one page. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. Well, if we talk about the SO9 incident, we can't really present any evidence on it, can we? Because it's not the case that's on trial. So the only thing I can do when we talk about SO9 right now, we have to only press it. Right? Unless they're going to want me to do it anyway, just for the sake of the story. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Dude, my throat's gonna be fucked trying to read this in his voice. Here we go. SO9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slept up. That power outage didn't help either. I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. He didn't say who they were talking about? Yeah, here we go. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him. He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seemed pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. So don't press him too much? Is that what they're saying? Because I can't present evidence on it. It's not, I don't know, dude. We'll see, I guess. Because technically it is on trial because we're talking about it right now. Right? I don't know. We'll see. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away that day. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. To make a long story short, we slept up. That power outage didn't help either. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. So he did make it to the elevator. I thought he went the wrong way. I thought that was a story. He didn't know where he was going and he went the wrong. But then again, him and Neil would likely know which way he actually went. That's fair. I went upstairs and I went downstairs, I guess you could say. Or he went upstairs and I went downstairs. He got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that? The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. That's not funny. Huh. So... Huh. It just feels like there was no Joe Dark. That's how it feels. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. It just feels, maybe he was the guy who did all the killing. That's what it feels like. He said Joe Dark ran to the elevator and it didn't work. But then I guess he he went downstairs and the elevator wasn't working. But the way he said that made it sound like he tried to use the elevator and didn't work. Did anyone else? I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep note of that, though. When I went into my office, I found Lana there. Okay. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. He doesn't really refer to him as Dark, too. He always says that serial killer, or he never really says his name. Does he not remember his name? I'm pretty sure he did call him Dark at some point here, but he keeps referring to him as something else. Everyone else just called him Joe Dark or something like that. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor, as apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Huh. How could she have known what her sister had done when she walked in? It's like he's trying to influence it to where it makes you think that she pushed, or that she knows that her sister killed. I mean, I guess we kind of proven that, but I don't know, dude. I think because they forged so much evidence and lied so much, that he's the one who killed him, straight up. And once he got caught, and he was about to be the one who got arrested, like maybe he cut a deal or something. Because if you remember, Von Karma cut a deal with the boat shop owner in the other case, and then he came clean. So maybe Joe Dark came clean too. And once he came clean about it, Gant tried to run, and then he tried to kill Emma. And Emma thinks she's the one who pushed him, but she doesn't remember who she even saw, right? That's another detail. She doesn't even know what Joe Dark even looks like, really. She said she saw him come into the room, though. But she could have been brainwashed into thinking that it was someone else that it wasn't. Because they hinted at that, too. I don't know. Every time I think I got it, they switch the case. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. Lana would have to have told him that it was moved, unless he saw blood being dragged across the floor, which he didn't say. Alright. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. It's like Edgeworth knows it's not right, and Phoenix does too. It's like they're lying on purpose to get him to go with the lie and then have him slip up. Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Only bring up evidence if it's, you know, relevant. I'm pretty sure we don't really have anything that ties into it other than this piece of cloth right here. But I can't present this. All we know is that it was in his safe. Let me look at him. I don't see any part of his clothing that has like a patch or anything, as far as I know. Let me press him again in there. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence is inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better off staring at the court record. Worthy. As the smooth talker. Always a smooth talker. Which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. It's got to be the piece of cloth. That's the only thing we have, right? And we got to present on this last one, I'm pretty sure. Because he says he had nothing to do with it. Right? Yeah. Now, this is probably his. Nothing in this photo really... I mean, I guess he kind of does have something to do with it. Because in the picture, there's the suit of armor and it's in his room. Right? Right? And then there's also this jar. That's his. So technically he does have something to do with it because it happened in his office. Right? But he's saying no, it happened in Lana's office because it's cut in half. And they share an office together. So it happened on her side of the room. But he already admitted that the body got dragged over there, so it definitely did happen on his side of the room. It's gotta be this. If he really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto. Don't you know the second rule of evidence law? I already read that. Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is this rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Okay, I'll do it. Just this once, but only because you asked, Chief. Thank you. I assure you, the defense is terribly sorry. Ha ha ha. Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. They reacted. So, we're kinda right, but not really. Okay. It's not registered. If only it had something next to it that said it was registered. This jar definitely is registered, and it's his. Let's use the jar. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's the Blue Badger you showed us earlier. It's not the Blue Badger, and y'all better not play that fucking song or I'm gonna skip this whole fucking trial. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played an illegal part or played a part in the illegal investigation. I could never be an attorney, bro, because I'll misspeak so many times, bro. My confidence is lacking. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can also do so too. Isn't that right, Rhino? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Damn. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. I drink some more water. Alright. Evidence and forgery. Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list? Did we say jar fragment? I don't think we said jar fragment. I think we just said the jar. So he knows that the jar fragment was in there, which means he probably put it in there. He just gave himself away. We never said jar fragment. We just said the jar was found in his office. Huh. We did say the list was, though, but not the jar fragment. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they are worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. That is an absolute lie.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know...
All right, Aji. In return, though...
I know the place, right?
Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? Alright, here we go. So can I just present the jar? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. I'd appreciate it if you stopped making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped...
Mr. Wright, what are you saying?
Anyway, you can't prove you... He's gonna say tip a cow? Isn't that like an old joke from way back? I think it's probably when the game came out too. You didn't carry in the evidence, can you? I think I remember that joke in middle school. If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Rhino's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, then they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Okay. Did we just press him on this? Or did we just press him on this one? I know we pressed him on that, for sure. I don't want to do the same one twice. We'll just skip ahead if I did. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act. would it necessarily constitute forgery? If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Rhino. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they are worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was taken. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so as long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Rido. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is the benefit? This benefit? That you, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SO9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That, in itself, is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SO9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Ah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. That means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit a forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. Well, he was honest. We know that shit to be true. There. It's out in the open now. Aji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. We gotta press him on that. Because I don't know what I can present there. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Nah, he has an accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
No, that's not what I mean.
Very well then, who is the person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence?
It's got to be Lana Sky, because with him becoming the chief of police, she becomes the chief prosecutor, right? That was the benefit. It ain't no one else on this list. It damn sure ain't Meekins. It's not Emma. He already said he don't care about her. It's not Angel Star. She got fired. It's not J. Marshall. He got demoted. Goodman is dead, and he don't give a fuck about Gumshoe. Light work.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant?
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the S9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor in the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all this?
He was able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? He's a ventriloquist? Oh wait, you must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. I know, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? You have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana, just keep it quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident, or which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial, almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? Order, I said order! What, Mr. Wright, you can't be serious, huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder, that is impossible.
Can you tell I'm having fun? I'm having a great time. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this.
How can you prove this, Mr. Wright? The chief, a high-ranking officer of law, is involved in this murder?
Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then, let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman.
Ties him to the murder of Detective Goodman. Found a bloody head print. Extremely thin rubber glove. Screwdriver. Oh, it's this, right? Yeah, he's the one who has the 77 number. It's him.
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID card on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What?
How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777777. 7. Yo, if my stream crashes, I'm gonna crash out. For real. It better not crash. Don't do this to me. We got so far. Don't you fucking crash. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking crash. Don't you crash. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, it didn't crash. We're good. Okay. We're good. Alright. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. We got him. Reel it in.
Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Look at his face, bro. We got him. Nothing. The defense search of my office was a violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You went to the evidence room on the day of the crime?
He did. What about it? I'm Chief Gant, or I'm Chief of the Police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. When Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened, or Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. The trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met with the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Well, he had to go meet him because he had to get this. Goodman's lost item report, a half-written document dated 2/21, can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yeah, you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filled it or filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh!
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. The chief of police murdered poor Goodman. Exactly.
But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Of course you have, right? When we say that, of course. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your ID card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Dun dun dun. Oh shit, he got shocked again. That's just like when he used the freaking elevator. Chief Gant.
You didn't.
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue, just taking up space.
How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us his evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. Oh shit. What's in here taking up space that seems useless? Oh shit. Okay. You know what I think happened? So Mr. Meekins comes in, right? He pulled up with the whip. In the back of the vehicle is probably Detective Goodman's body, right? But he had to bring this screwdriver, specific screwdriver, from some random ass case that we don't even know, AI-16. I'm assuming that's the one 2 episodes ago. Evidence from the past, a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Gant's request. He requested that this be delivered to Edgeworth, so it was brought to him. Meanwhile, they were just moving Goodman's body. This has to be it. I don't know anything else on here that wasn't used yet. Everything else has been used except this. And I tried to use it on the last trial, and it didn't, or not last trial, last episode, and it didn't fucking work because they were like, yeah, that has nothing to do with this case. It's gotta be this. This is how you move Detective Goodman's body.
That? A screwdriver? What does that have to do with the case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here at the prosecutor's office. Oh! Damn! They put the body in the back of Edgeworth's whip and then had him drive the body to the prosecutor's office. And the screwdriver is probably how he got inside the car. You can pick a lock with a screwdriver and a nail. Or like a bobby pin. We know that from playing Fallout. So, yeah. There you go. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Damn. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it was obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car?
Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. Transfer the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky.
Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It was a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something.
I believe your time's up.
My time's up?
Sorry, Righto, but I have lunch with the District Attorney General after this. I have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman? That's what you're saying, right? But if you have any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof, and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright,
Your Honor,
you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Lana Sky dispose of his body?
do I have any concrete proof? Do I have any concrete proof? Call me to Emma. Do I? I don't think I do. But if I say I don't, he's gonna leave. I don't think I have proof yet, do I? This could be wrong. Let me save. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. I have no conclusive evidence. Siaji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
What? Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's no one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth, another witness? In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth. We gotta call Angel Star, because I'm hungry, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I'm trying to get me a Salisbury. No. We gotta call in the sky. Nope. Bruce knows the truth. If anybody knows what happened, it's him. But he died. He's in jail. He don't know shit. It's gotta be Damon Gant. He's the only other person aside from Damon Gant who knows. Detective Gumshoe Dick was always there. He was all over the place. No?
The defendant, Miss Lana Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body in accordance to a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth, prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in... Hold on. Huh?
Chief Gant?
I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. He's just gonna threaten her in front of everybody? Bro. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I have a lunch date to meet.
We just gonna ignore that? Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
I mean, I guess technically he's threatened everybody today, so I mean, what's new? February 25th, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. So we have to get to 2:19 p.m. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief? He's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
My office?
Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knot girl you used to work with.
Do you mean Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, this is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
risk? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. Meaning he forfeits the right to say anything too. Emma, you're okay. Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. She heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny, I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved. Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now, I knocked Mr. Marshall into the armor. I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Here we fucking go! Here we go! This man's goose is entirely cooked, let me tell you. February 25th, 2:21 p.m.
Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Edward, I already know everything. I know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we got to get Gant. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. Then I found Prosecutor Marshall's body. I arranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. And she still lied.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana,
if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
cross-examination, Gant, and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see. I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases.
She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. There's no truth to this blackmail thing. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. Why does she keep looking everywhere but at us when she lies? You know how people look to the left when they lie sometimes? It's like a tell for people. She's like turning her whole fucking body. It's like the worst lie ever. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. You did do that, and I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want the innocent to ruin her life. The incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him, Lana. But
that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? Well, that's why you...
Well, whatever. You guys know. Keep messing up. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Now, what I'm thinking about... Let me see if I can find it. I'm still thinking about this right here. Right? We don't have a use for it yet. I'm also thinking about this glove right here. And where's the SO9 stuff? I went past it. This stuff. Because look at this. Let's just read through it again real quick. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial killer, death sentence. Right? The victims right here, including Neil Marshall. You got prosecutor Edgeworth, he was on it. Witnesses Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Right? Executive investigators, Lana Sky, Damon Gant. You know, you see everybody here. Perpetrator Joe. Okay, we went right back to the beginning. I can't find it. I wish we had it somewhere, but we definitely said at some point that we don't know if he actually killed. There was only one thing that we had that could prove that he was tied to the murders, right? Which was his knife. But this knife wasn't used on Neil Marshall. He got killed by the statue or the big suit of armor. So technically, Joe Dark still is innocent technically because we couldn't prove that he actually did it because we forged this evidence right here. Because remember all the killings that happened prior to Neil Marshall, there was no witnesses. So we don't even know if he did it. I don't know, dude. Did it say he confessed? I don't think he confessed though, getting time to it. And if he did confess, he might have been paid off. I don't know. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But the prosecutor Marshall died with an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. Reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecution. Whoa! Wait a minute. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change that statement. And Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh. That was lying on the floor, a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. She broke off the tip of the knife. How? How? You planted the tip of Dark's knife and moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did she move the body? That makes no sense. I get why plant the knife. But why would you move the body? That makes why? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's death. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let the witness explain this in more detail. The reason this guy moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Okay, we'll go back to the other question after we press reading. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, the wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I thought it would be more expedient to move the body. Yeah, it has to be expedient, because expedite is spelled differently. So, when you first moved the body, the jar was already, of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you look at the crime scene, it will be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Joe Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time of the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. The only motivation was to get Dark convicted. That had nothing to do with Emma. Okay. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There is nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay. Yep. Okay. And I get to ask her another question, right? Here we go. But why do that? Come on, Mr. Wright. Even you should have figured it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason this guy fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon would be buried in his body. Oh, I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound. Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. So I have to go back and ask. I have to press on this one again because it takes away part of her testimony, which is really fucking weird, but that's what it does. I need to get to the part where she talks about moving the body. See? And then this pops up, and then the other one's gone now. So now... do I present the jar, perhaps? Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction? In my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plans." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar from the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have been broken before he died. Oh, true. That is very true. It couldn't have been broken before he died. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I never said anything, but I just kind of went with it because I was like, okay, maybe he just wrote on this piece. But no, it's on the whole jar that the message is written. So how could he have written the name on there if it was already broken? Lana broke it afterwards. That's what happened. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. True. That's so true. Order. Your Honor, it would appear. More information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. She didn't get to the room first, did she? Gant got to the room first because Gant and Jake Marshall were the ones chasing Joe Dark. So Gant must have got there after Marshall did. Because why would you know what I mean? Why would she be in pursuit? The whole time they've been saying it's been Gant and Neil the one who was chasing them. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Oh shit. Oh shit. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer, so she tried to erase the evidence. Maybe Neil wasn't the one who wrote the blood on the jar. Maybe it was Gant. And Lana broke the jar. And was like, nah, you're not blaming this on my fucking sister, you dickhead. But because he had already started writing on it, her name in blood, he doesn't care about anyone but himself. So of course he would try to pin it on the little girl. So because Lana saw that, she tried to break the jar, but it didn't matter if she broke the jar because the evidence was still there. If someone were to piece the jar back together, and they would think it was Emma. And Emma already testified that she pushed Neil into the freaking the suit of armor. So
very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Here we go. The jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feeble as the defense case.
But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean? If you really thought Joe Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. That doesn't make sense because you said you only had so much time to move the body. But I guess you had only so much time to do both things. I guess so. They're not mutually exclusive. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident, no doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Her sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. He immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but in the dark room, I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped the blood. Those were so large, I'm sure I got them all. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Emma is written on the surface of blood. Okay. Is this it? Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood from them. Which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up to the scene. Chief Gant was there before you. I knew it! I knew it. Everybody did, of course. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha, can you believe it? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break his jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? True. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No. I like how even though he's yelling, his facial expression still maintains the same composure. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. And purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up those most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana. Maybe right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. I knew it! I knew she didn't kill him. That doesn't make sense. Of course she didn't kill him. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, this is a possibility that will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. There we go! Because if it's true, your sister's innocent, bro, you're good! You're good! You know?
All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time.
Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Okay. So she's telling the truth now. So she's not gonna lie at all? Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to you, Mr. Wright, just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. It's gotta be this. Right? Maybe you can open the book. There might be a picture inside, perhaps? Oh, I think I see it. Is it this little thing right here? Oh! Hey, there's a picture here. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime like this, crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged everything. Crime scene photo was taken 2 years ago. Mr. Wright, That piece cut out from his leather vest. Could that be... Oh, the claw found inside Chief Gant's safe. So that wasn't Chief Gant's part of his clothing. It's part of Jake Marshall's clothing. Okay, that's it. This is it. There's a handprint on it. But the thing that's weird is that it's your fingerprints, buddy. That claw, it has fingerprints on it. So their fingerprints, must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. For as long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the... The fuck? Whoa, where you come from? Come now, Wedgie. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Got him! Red dot him! This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show of the noose tightened around your own neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you must still have conclusive evidence?
No, I don't, but someone does.
Someone?
So what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves you who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that proves or that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
I'm going to show this piece of evidence now. I'm sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present the piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Yeah, we can show it. Because I don't think it actually proves that she killed him. It just proves that she was holding on to his vest. You know? It's a handprint. Okay. Maybe she was holding on to him to hide behind him from the real killer. Yeah, sure, Anna, I do have further evidence. Alright. The time's finally come to show it to them then. Those prints have got to be Chief's. She has no clue, man.
Now, then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. That's a piece of leather cloth.
Yes. It most likely was cut from the victim's vest, wearing near his chest.
What's this? There's a big handprint on it.
Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword.
What? Whose fingerprints are on this?
I'm sure Rado has checked, haven't you?
Well, whose are they?
Say it. They're Miss Emma Sky's. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma to Neil Marshall's death. No.
It appears we have our killer.
No. Objection? No! Everything hinged on that point. In the end, no! Do I have to start all the way over? You gotta be fucking joking. Oh my god. I have to do everything again. Alright, well, I know what to do though. I'm good. I got it. I got this. It's fine. I thought I had to bring it up. I was wrong. You gotta be fucking joking. We know what to do though, it's okay. We know what to do. It's all good. Damn. So, we don't present the cloth. But why don't we present the cloth? Damn, why did they rope me in like that? Okay. And this gives us this, and then she talks about how she moved the body or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. I broke the tip of dark stone plants inside. You have to press them on that. Yep. And then we gotta ask about her moving the body specifically. Yep. And then we gotta present the jar. Right? I'm pretty sure it was the jar, right? Yes, it was. Okay. Nice. Well, it gives me a good chance to rest my voice, so that's good. Drink some water too while we're at it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Jar meshed in blood. Okay. Yep, talk your shit, talk your shit. Cross-examination. So let's read through this real quick, okay. I immediately noticed the blood stain turned out wasn't it, but the dark room, I didn't have time to check it out. We say wiped away the blood. The fragments were too large, so I got to make sure I got them all. That's not true because of the jar. Again. Because one of the pieces were found in the Chief Gant's room. Yeah. Yeah, she didn't know about it. Yep. Nice, nice. Nice. Some more water. Okay. Location of evidence. Yep. And she was finally going to start talking then. Yep. I think we're almost there. What if... she's about to testify again, she gets cut off, right? Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and save. There we go. Actual crime scene. And then there's a picture that we have, right? Was it not? Nice. Save again. There we go. We're almost there. Okay. The cloth. Yep. And I gotta not present it. Okay. Emma has no clue. Okay. Yep. That was really cool how they did that, by the way. It really made me think I was going to actually cross-examine her. And they said, hell no. That was cool. He presented evidence. He said, Mr. Wright has it. And I have to not show it. Yeah. It's like the one time where I'm not supposed to show anything and I show it. Fuck. Alright, we're good now. Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. You know what you took what was inside. The inclusive evidence. Oh, he just admitted that he had it in there. He just admitted that he had it in his safe. Wow. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we flipped. You see how we went back in time? We went back in time like Max Caulfield in Life is Strange. You saw that? We went back in time. And then we used what he said. Saw that? That was cool. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? You can't figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this? Then you're safe.
What? That means you, the chief police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Yeah, dumbass. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Wow. I can't just let you pin this me up as the murderer, I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it?
This guy is a dumb ass, bro. Jeez. You would think as smart as he is, his ego's getting in the way. He probably is smart, but his ego's getting in the way and he's making really dumb decisions. Shitty decisions. I was the first person to arrive at the scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay on her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for aid. So you assisted this guy? I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using the evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This is before Lana arrived in the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
For insurance. Of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating this that far ahead by forging the evidence?
What, do you take me for a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar arrangement? I had the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go up and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
If you fabricated all of the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too?
Exactly. I said that earlier. I was thinking he took the blood and drew on it Emma's name to try to get Lana, or try to get Emma convicted. Because she was the only other person in the room aside from him that was conscious. And maybe Emma doesn't even remember that it was actually Gant who did it. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. So, some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for assurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Rando. You should have known it then before it was too late. I swear. I swear. If I still get called guilty, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. We gotta show it. But we gotta save first, cause you ain't finna get me twice, dog. You ain't finna get me twice. No fucking way. No fucking way. We gotta show it. Let's go. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Right then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes. He has gloves on, by the way. At last, you're finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean it couldn't have been forged? It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas. You're all as slow as the you're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted.
The victim, the person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma. Emma Sky?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. Why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, 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 oh. You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky,
You knew those fingerprints were... Oh, you know whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't? Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said the trial isn't over yet. Ha! I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant's convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Shut your bitch ass. I'm like a psycho laughing at myself with no one around. Anyways. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
what?
Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real killer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
Hell nah. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. Yeah? Why did he cut it off? He said he had insurance. What did he cut it off with? He ripped it off with his bare hands? I guess he could, right? What? A contradiction. What is this foolish babbling about? What is this fool babbling about? My bad. I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Here we go.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, these evidence that contradicts this cloth. Pieces of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Is it the picture? No, it's not ripped from the picture. Is it this picture? I guess you could say it's only a tiny piece of it. Look at that rip, right? That's a pretty big fucking rip. But look at what we got here. Look at this. Look at this. This all we got? I'm pretty sure Emma's hands are not that big. Where's the rest of the cloth? Right? Is that what it is? Also, there's blood on his tie, on the vest, on the shirt, right? But there's no blood on this cloth. It's got to be the picture. And what exactly is it supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of cloth of his vest is cut off? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked in blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but the piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Exactly. Yes. Yes. I'm a genius. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on the cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, how could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? You, because you already said you did, picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armorer's sword. Then it make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death. Said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood, the jar that would be broken on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Yep, remember what you admitted only moments ago, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. Ah! It's finally all over. Who the fuck objected? Oh, he did, of course. Oh, that was a close one, Righto. You almost had me. Sure. But you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Order, order. What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Haji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed this piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor,
I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair. Oh. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
Nobody laughing. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Legal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Mr. Wright, do you admit it? Admit to it. That you purposely
and illegally concealed this piece of evidence. You're not gonna get me again. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You don't get me here. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, if I admit that, all my planning will have been for nothing. It seems Mr. Wright didn't understand the implications of his conduct. Bring it back, Turbo? No. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha, so the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant, huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then, it's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. Oh yeah, talk to him. Wait a minute. I remember. The evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department, and the chief of police is the one who asked us to show it. A version of evidence must be relevant to the case trial, and it is. We got him. Reel it in. I got the bag. Tell a friend. All right, here we go. There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Eddie. Don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really... There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not a violation of law, do so now.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. You see, it's the second rule of evidence law.
Rule number 1.
No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule number 2. An unregistered evidence presented
must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SO9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want real relevancy? Just take a look at this picture and... Sorry, but you can recall... But can you recall when was this picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, the piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. No. It was in that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the person who stood before the prosecutor marshal in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you. Wah ha 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 ha. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. You wanted to reinvestigate the case, or you wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman, Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence
is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? I can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm not going to hand all of this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up the SO9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing it would have led to more blood, making it nearly impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried it to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. Everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I feel bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments into the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their job as well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it, you and me. We're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to do it, to go it alone. Object, Phoenix. He's not alone. Aww. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Haji? What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry to damn again. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Edgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious something. Melodious sound of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When the trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few more years from now, you might just make it to the top. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright, Miss Sky, and to you, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edwards. Stop it. I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. And then she died.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty.
It's a celebration.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Emma. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you, too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll be back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh. Are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana. Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Yes? I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma. Hey, let's go. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it was from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll be meeting again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. You were the ones who acted corruptly. Or we were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my life, my entire life, to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary. But I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? David Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best when it came to crime fighting, or fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on your own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true. Think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have been undiscovered or gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Yeah. What is this? A pop quiz? Oh, come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what I was talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own? Huh? Oh! We both had different halves of the evidence list. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there's still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you. Or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem, Edgeworth. I'll be waiting for you in the courtroom. Farewell. I better be going too. Okay. But I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I've ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, Detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, Detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who will be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Nice. That was cool. Well, thank you, Shu Takami, because that shit was a dope game. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of. I hope she'll be pleased to study up under. As for me, this affair is pretty much ended. Still, I managed to find my way back. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. I still gotta read. This is ridiculous. Y'all know I can't read. The proof is in the pudding.
Yikes! I thought it was a garter for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'll be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show you can't shake off that easily. You can't shake me off that easily.
He's like I don't know. I guess it's like hair? I don't know. I wonder if that Kishimoto is related to the same Kishimoto who wrote Naruto. Or is Kishimoto his first name? My new mission is to guard the main entrance. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'll make a detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like the dick that dick dumped you. I struggled for a second. This is not a big team, it seems like. Who else do we have to hear from? Edgeworth? I don't want to hear shit you got to say, buddy. Go away. Go away. You kind of hitting that shit, though. Okay. Type shit. Yes! I mean, oh, that sucks. He broke. I don't know any of these people. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this in for me. She's seeing one of the guards. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? What the fuck is Belly? Oh, the cactus. Gotcha. I remember. The cacti in his office. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As Veronica, I put a new meal on the menu, the Wright way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Y'all ever have to do that for some food? Like put the nasty thing on top of the good thing and then eat them together so that the nasty thing doesn't taste as bad? I used to do that. I don't like yams. Like the food, I mean. Or squash. So I usually have to mix them with something else to enjoy them.
Let's see. What was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he should... he said he's been doing... Oh, well anyway, I got to get this trolley here, huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
That's the first time we've seen the chair behind him. Interesting. I like this little song here. They should use it more. But I guess they might have saved it for the end. Oh, it's the homie. Ah! Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I fulfill full-fledged spirit. Mystic Maya, afternoon training is about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. That's what's up. Are we gonna see Lotta and Penny and Old Bag and that actor and... Okay, so I thought this was a small team. I was wrong. It's a lot of people. This game is cool though. Like, it's not much that you do, but for what you do, it's fun, I think. I find it more exciting than the actual show itself. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, I bought you your tea. What's going on? Is he about to resign at the end of this? That's not what I want to see. You know, I would have appreciated it more if they had it side by side instead of having me to sit here and wait. Okay, wait. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Wherever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh, okay. Got a picture inside? Oh. Oh, shit, that's cool. Hey, I like that. It's a cool picture. I saved the image. I got a trophy. Let's go. So that's the end of the first game. There's 2 more games after this. But I think I'm going to play a game in between this and then come back. I'm not sure how to continue, but I don't want to fuck anything up. So I'll just end the stream here. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate y'all. Even though there's hardly anyone here. I mean, people came in and out. I'll take what I can get, you know? That's how it is.